The challenge begins at last. 154 sonnets standing on one leg. Why am I doing this? For the Little Sapphires School in Madagascar.
Hi, my name is Laurette.
I've known Laurette for 20 years and she's coordinating the project in a mining village in the north of the country where the parents are too poor to send their children to school.
What they do is either leave the children with street vendors with a high risk of child trafficking or sexual exploitation, or they take the children with them in the mining areas, and that is equally dangerous.
To say within mine own deep sunken eyes, well, that was another very tricky one. I really thought I was going to lose it at the end. Those last two lines, I suddenly realized they hadn't rehearsed them very much. No, fairly doth excel. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. Well, that's the second fail. The first one for putting my foot on the ground. But, I don't know. I'd actually worked on learning the sonnet a bit more, so I was quite confident about remembering the poem. From his low tract, and look another way. Just when I was getting to the end. That was so frustrating. I was almost there. Single, thou wilt prove none. Well, I think that went all right. I'll have to check to see if I didn't miss out any lines, but I don't think so. No love toward others in that bosom sits, that on himself such murderous shame commits. Got it. Well, I think I'm getting the hang of it. The challenge is not to let it kind of take over my life entirely, because I've got other things to do and I'm spending a lot of time on learning these poems. My love shall live in my verse, ever stay young. Thou gavest me thine, not to give back again. Okay, now blindfold, the first one. How many lines will I manage? Here goes. O truant muse, what will be thy amends for thy neglect of truth in beauty Oh, never say that I was false of heart, although my absence seems my flame to qualify, like, I might as easy from myself depart as from the soul which in thy breast doth lie. That is my home of love. If I have ranged like him who travels, I return again, just to the time, not to the time exchanged, that for myself I bring water for my stain. Never believe that in my nature reigned. 9 lines, a new personal best. I think that was take number 7. I allow myself 10 takes because after that there's no point. My legs just turn to jelly. Sonnet 111 was a fail and I didn't even attempt to do it blindfold. 2 excuses. First, I was driving all day, about 8 hours, so I didn't really have time to learn it properly. And secondly, as you'll see, I was distracted during the recital. For my life provide than public means which public manners breeds, like the dyer's hand. Pity me then, and wish I were renewed. Wish I were renewed. I've forgotten it. I'm not supposed to read it. Okay, I'll have a quick look. Sonnet 114 was a fail. I'm on the ferry from the Hook of Holland to Harwich. The sea is quite calm, but it's rolling just enough to make reciting a Shakespeare sonnet very difficult. If it be poisoned, 'tis the lesser sin. 'Tis the lesser sin. If it be poisoned, 'tis Those lips that love's own hand did make breathed forth the sound that said, I hate, to me, who languished for her sake. But when she saw my woeful state, straight in her heart did mercy come, chiding that tongue that ever sweet was used in giving gentle doom, and taught it thus anew to greet. I hate she altered with an end that followed it, as gentle day doth follow night, who like a fiend from heaven to hell is flown away. I hate from hate away she threw, and saved my life, saying, not you. The last two sonnets are just kind of tacked on to the end a bit, and they bear no relation really to anything that went before, the fair youth or the dark lady. They're rather conventional and a bit insipid, but it was a clever move to put them at the end because they serve to show how brilliant all the others are. Love's fire heats water, water cools not love. Woo! Ah. And that's it, over. I can hardly believe it. I'm going to be taking a complete break from Shakespeare for a little while, but I'll be back to let you know the results of this campaign and what comes next. Well, out of 154 sonnets, I failed 18. That's a success rate of 88%, which isn't too bad really, but I think my criteria for success were pretty lax. I allowed myself 1 minute 40 seconds. It should normally take about 1 minute 20. I also think there was not a single time I did it word perfect. I would be very surprised if that was the case. But anyway, all that is academic, because what really counts is the amount that I managed to raise. €1,438. Not bad, but still a long way from the target of 6,200. So I was a little bit disappointed with that. But what happened then was that I got in touch with the university I used to work in, specifically the master's program in humanitarian project management, and they agreed to sponsor the project, with the result that we now have €7,700, more than is actually needed for the construction of the classroom. So I'm hugely grateful to Marie-Françoise Mercadier, who runs that course, and to the students who helped in raising the funds by organising a concert, a conference, a tombola, various events. And it's a wonderful outcome to almost 2 years of campaigning, which means that the children in the Little Sapphires School in Madagascar will now be able to learn in a proper classroom. My heartfelt thanks to everyone who contributed.